Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Before we begin, I want to apologize for only uploading one Mission Impossible review and not the other ones. Let's just say I've been busy with other stuff, like the review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and a few other things outside of YouTube. I promise that I will upload the rest of them next spring when we get Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. But for now, let us dive our motorcycles off a cliff and dive right into my thoughts on the latest entry, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 features the return of Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, as well as Ving Rhames as Luther Stickle, Simon Pegg as the comic relief Benji Dunn, who first appeared in Mission Impossible 3, and Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa Faust, who appeared in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation and Mission Impossible Fallout. We also have Vanessa Kirby as the daughter of Max from the first Mission Impossible movie. And joining the cast is Peggy Carter herself, Hayley Atwell as Grace, a new ally to the IMF team, as well as Mantis herself, Pom Klementieff, as a French assassin tasked with hunting down Ethan and his team, and also Henry Czerny reprising his role as Kittredge from the first Mission Impossible movie. These movies are known for their crazy authentic stunts without green screen, because Tom Cruise is the kind of guy who goes above and beyond to bring crazy death-defying stunts with each new entry in the Mission Impossible series. Behind the scenes of this movie, Tom Cruise lost his shit with two crew members for not following COVID-19 protocol. I'm not going to play the audio here, but I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about here. All I can say is that it's far worse than Christian Bale losing his fucking shit behind the scenes of Terminator Salvation. This film features many crazy stunts, such as having Ethan Hunt riding a motorcycle off a cliff and diving down a mountain without dying in the process, and a fight scene on a moving train where they have to time their ducks as they reach a tunnel, among other crazy stunts. This film is directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who returns to the director's chair after Rogue Nation and Fallout. He was also involved in the Jack Reacher movies, directing the first one, and he was even involved in Top Gun Maverick. He's been working with Tom Cruise for quite a long while. But enough about that. Here's my entire spoiler-free thoughts on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I actually went to a Monday night early access screening of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. That is why I uploaded this review early. Kinda like what I did with the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. But now, my mission, should I choose to accept it, is to give you my spoiler-free thoughts on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that this movie deserves to be seen on the largest screen possible. There are plenty of movies out there that fall under the same category because streaming them and watching them on Blu-ray don't give off the same experience as seeing it in a theater. Some such notable examples include Top Gun Maverick, Avatar, Avatar: The Way of Water, Dune, and of course, Oppenheimer. Because watching them on TVs, phones, or tablets doesn't give the same cinematic experience one would get when paying the admissions fee at a movie theater. Yes, I get that COVID was a thing and it put a damper on theaters, but what choice did people have then? Many movies wanted to push for their upcoming releases to be exclusively theatrical, but look what happened with The New Mutants and Tenet. And then 2021 hit, and that's when theaters started to open back up, and the world of moviegoing went back to normal for a good majority of moviegoers like myself. And believe me when I say this, I hated putting a mask over my chin whenever I had to eat popcorn and I had to lift the mask back up. It was a pain in the ass. Looking back, a lot of the most recent movies we've gotten deserve to be seen on the biggest screen imaginable, like Avatar: The Way of Water, and Top Gun Maverick, and The Batman, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course my favorite movie of 2022, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 falls under the same exact category. Every shot, every frame of this movie is what an epic blockbuster should be, from the car chase in Rome to the fight scenes on a fast-moving train. And even some parts that feel like I'm playing Uncharted 2 when I first got my PS4 back in 2017. Sure, some scenes felt like they were inspired by some video games like Uncharted 2, but I don't think that's what Christopher McQuarrie was going for. What I love most about this movie is the epic set pieces, and shooting on location without green screen to offer the most exciting cinematic experience that you paid your admission fees worth. Like Tom Cruise and Hayley Atwell handcuffed to each other and driving through the cobblestone streets of Rome couldn't be more difficult, but they pulled it off flawlessly. Also, Tom Cruise and Hayley Atwell work so well together, they have great chemistry on screen. I just hope Steve Rogers isn't losing his shit knowing that Peggy Carter now has the hots for Tom Cruise. I mean, they don't have a romantic relationship or anything. She's just a thief who teams up with Ethan to go on a dangerous mission. This movie revolves around a Skynet-like AI called the Entity that is the most dangerous thing on the planet and is all-powerful, just like Skynet, but no Terminators or killer robots. Would you even imagine Ethan Hunt fighting against robots? Now that would be Fast and Furious levels of jumping the Sharknado. Then again, if anyone had the Mission Impossible level pack in LEGO Dimensions, you would have probably put the Ethan Hunt minifigure on the toy pad, played a level where he had to fight robots. But in the world of Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt would never fight against an army of robots. But Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is proof yet again that this is a film series that gets better with each new entry. And I just can't wait to see Part 2 when that comes out next year. I'm giving Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 a 10 out of 10. The action was great, and it was suspenseful, especially since they brought back Henry Czerny as Eugene Kittredge from the first Mission Impossible movie. And we got to see a few more of Brian De Palma's Dutch angles, even though Brian De Palma had absolutely nothing to do with the other Mission Impossible movies, not even this one. We also got an appearance from Cary Elwes, who is known for playing Wesley in The Princess Bride, and Robin Hood in Robin Hood Men in Tights, as a minor character in this movie. Cary Elwes is going to be starring in the Knuckles series on Paramount Plus, alongside Christopher Lloyd, Stockard Channing from Grease, Adam Pally, Tika Sumpter, and Idris Elba himself. As I've said before, Mission Impossible is one of those film series that gets better with each new entry, and they are always a joy for me to watch, especially watching Tom Cruise do a bunch of crazy stunts that don't use a single pixel of CGI, or any green screens whatsoever. Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell work very well together, and I love pretty much everything about this movie. It's definitely one of those movies that you don't want to miss out on. It's all this and more that make Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 one of my favorite movies of the year. Stay tuned for my review of Mission Impossible 2 coming soon. I want to try to tackle the other Mission Impossible movies sometime in the summer in between other game reviews and TV show discussions, and other Sonic and Sonic projects. And I would also like to say that aside from the remaining Mission Impossible movies, I will be doing these kinds of film reviews with Blue Beetle, Kraven the Hunter, and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And also the Ghostbusters movies and the X-Men movies. But first I'll get through the other Mission Impossible movies before I get to anything else. Even if it means I end up uploading my review of Blue Beetle when I'm in the middle of covering the other Mission Impossible movies. So yes, stay tuned for all those exciting reviews, videos, and more coming soon. Until then, I'll see you all next time.